Let's have some real conversation here. Nobody will prepare you for what I'm going to tell you, but sometimes I feel like a lot of people need to have this at the back of their mind. It's like a big awareness that you need to know. Before I moved from Ghana to the United Kingdom, I had zero awareness of what I was going to expect. But my only expectation was, oh, I'm going to get a good job and I'm going to work and get a lot of money. So that was the only thing that I had at the back of my mind. But I just want to be honest and open. If you're someone that you're in Ghana and you're yet to move from Ghana or in Africa or some part of the world to Europe, US, Australia, New Zealand, any part of Europe, nobody will tell you how lonely this place is. Even if you have a family, even if you have siblings, there'll be a time in your life that you feel like, oh, there's nothing to do. Like sometimes you force yourself to even do things to keep you busy. And I'm not surprised to see that almost, let's say, 70% or 60% of content creators are actually people living in abroad. Because, Tommy, there is sometimes no social, connections. It's very difficult to have that. It's once in a while that, let's say, something is actually going on and you get involved in, or people that are very busy, that are volunteering, that are, coordinating things in the UK. But I tell you, there are times and period that you'll be lonely. Like there is loneliness in this country. And I'm not saying this country should be as perfect as we think it should be. Trust me, if you go to Ghana or if you go to Africa, there is something also missing there. After living in the UK and living and then going to Africa as well, I feel wherever you find yourself, there's definitely going to be something that is going to be missing, that you feel like, oh, this country is very good. Like, I mean, if you go to Ghana, things are a bit slow. Let's say when you go to the bank, a lot of traffic. Um, People do things, some indiscipline level over there. When you come to the UK, you see a big much difference. Sometimes you feel like you want to have your life back at home, but you look at the system and you feel like, nah, I just don't want that life. But the sun is there, big social interaction, events are going, things are going on. You can just easily make friends abroad. You can make friends, but people are just cautious of who you are. They just really want to know you because there are a lot of cases out there, a lot of crime scenes where people make friends and it turn out to be brutal. So people are extremely careful. Relocating abroad is I think is a very big part of your life that is going to be taken away because you're going to change into a different person all over again. You're going to be a different version of yourself. You're going to unlearn things and learn things, and it's very difficult because nobody actually prepared me for this. And if I look back to the years that I was in Ghana, to the years that I've learned a lot about myself that I don't really know. Like I do like solitude quite a lot. Being on my own is something that I really love because it just makes me recharge a lot, see what I love, things that I need to do and all that. But I also feel like sometimes you can be so isolated. You can be on your own and not have that people around you. And yeah, that is how abroad is. Sometimes you don't really know. Because I remember coming to the UK, I wasn't really expecting that. My first Christmas, it was extremely empty, and asking myself, is this how Christmas is celebrated? And like, it's family centered and people around you centered. So if you're someone that you're single here, you don't have anybody yet and all that, you will be by yourself. You could get families or people inviting you to celebrate with them, but I am saying this, that abroad can be very lonely. It's extremely lonely to the extent that people die in their rooms without other people knowing. People died 3 days before their friends find out. People died days before their bodies found. And even when things are going on in your life, it takes someone who is extremely closer to you to obviously know what is going on in your life. Yeah, people need to know a lot that goes on. Sometimes you have families back at home, they call you, they just want to discuss their problem with you without asking you what is going on with your life, how are you, how are things going on. I believe that if we are able to open up and talk about things like this and they know about it, it's better for them to obviously, when they phone us, they actually ask about our well-being rather than focusing on what they can get from us. Abroad is extremely lonelier than anything I've ever seen. People try as much as possible to find something doing, like go to the gym, um, have a hobby. Like you do all these things, and what next? What is next for you to do? The loneliness is extremely high, I hear. I think even if you have family, you should try to find your own happiness and all that. The things I never thought I was gonna, like, it never even crossed my mind, that I was gonna feel, I was gonna experience. My mind was just on working and making money. But what about the other aspect of your life as well? You know, it all counts. It all counts to real life in abroad. And loneliness is real. It is real. And especially people that get married and they get into toxic marriage, or they get married and um, there's trouble at home. You're not going to stay in this house all the time when someone is not giving you peace of mind. It's going to be very difficult for you to have peace of mind in where there's no peace. And so I feel like some people say, oh, you can get married and have peace of mind. You can get married and be happy. It's not about. Trust me, there are marriages also breaking down that you still you still end up being lonely. So this part of, like, relocating abroad that people do not always talk about is loneliness. You will feel it in some aspect of your life, like along the journey you will definitely feel it. And so I have come to a big realization